All right, it is the final battle of Bounty Week. I've got my special glasses on, and I cannot see a thing in these. But fortunately, what I do know is coming up ahead is an incredible match. There is points on offer, there is money on the line, and also seedings and points. It's looking like an incredible end to this week.
I tell you what, it's looking like a big idiot on my screen right now. That's what it's looking like. It is looking like an incredible end to the week. Of course, OpTic against Thieves is a huge game, but both these two teams with a really good form heading into it. It should be an entertaining one, to say the least. We're getting a few things squared up on our end. We will be jumping into the game very, very shortly, but this is a hard one to call. Both two teams looking absolutely lights out. I just don't know which way this one's going to go. I know you guys at home have really been putting the channel points onto OpTic, but this one's a 50-50 for me, Bryce.
I think you're right. I think it's an interesting point here because LA Thieves have looked really good at this stage in hardpoint, but so have OpTic. In fact, coming into this stage, OpTic have been looking like one of the best hardpoint teams, bar none, against anyone. So we'll see how that first map kind of plays out. For the rest of it, though, the S&D, it can go both ways for both sides, and you do favour the control towards the Thieves. Whatever you think, this is a big matchup, not just because we get to see two Titans at the top of their game playing against each other, but it could give us a little insight into how it goes down at the Major.
Yeah, well, both these two teams will be vying for that top spot. Of course, they will be vying for the Major win. And to see, actually, I want to touch on Thieves for a moment. To see them playing so well online as well is going to be a scary prospect. And because I think, you know, with the online major coming up, they would have been like, okay, we're much better online, yada, yada, yada. But now they're playing so well in their comfort of their setup. I was about to say a home setup, but of course they're in the compound. But the boys have been playing very, very well. Octane and Envoy especially. If they can keep that up, they're going to be a very, very scary team as we head into the major. And, well, not very long, Bryce. Second week of the qualifiers. But the next one coming up, obviously, next weekend. And then we're straight into it. But let's have a look at their records across Major 4. These two teams at the very top. 3-0 for Thieves, 2-0 for OpTic.
Yeah, and that's the real big story, right? Thieves want to go 4-0, OpTic want to go 3-0. Make sure they hit that winner's bracket like the top teams that they are. And just in case you are wondering at home, we are getting this game underway very, very shortly. There is just a small technical hiccup that we are fixing before it goes live, because it's always better to fix it before the game starts so we don't have any issues. But I have been told by production the game is ready, the fist bumps are rolling, and the map is loading ton.
Nah, you just press the start button, Brycey. It's all up to us, isn't it? So here we go into Hotel. It's an interesting one because, you know, we typically do think of these two teams very, very solid when it does come down to Hotel, but OpTic, as of recent, of course, have been absolutely insane. As far as the records go, it is one of the, I want to say, better maps, obviously, for OpTic. Thieves still a decent record, but one of the worst in terms of how their games do go. Last time around, these two teams played each other. It was an OpTic win. They'll be feeling confident heading into map number 1 here, Bryce. They'll be wanting to take a lead in this series before we head into the Search and Destroy. And I think they're probably the favorites to do so. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I know one thing and one thing alone. Whatever happens, this is going to be a good map between these two teams. And I am excited for a throwdown of hardpoint proportions. Both teams obviously looking for the positioning around this first hill. We'll see who comes out on top. Who's feeling hot at the moment? It's Huke and Shotzzy.
Yeah, good work from them. And heading over towards P2 in just a second are OpTic Texas. You can already see Dashy is here, the best rotating in the team in the game, I should say, when it does come down to Hotel hardpoint. 60% of the time, they are the first ones there. It's looking like they are going to get this rotation over towards P2. Good chunk of time at P1 as well. Thieves, thankfully, will find these kills, though, in the right time at the same time. Dashy can find one, staying alive if only momentarily. That flip that has come through. OpTic Texas were the ones there over towards P2, but it's going to be Thieves, the first one to lock down some time here.
And while it is going to be a bit of time for OpTic to begin with, this is tense here for Thieves. They have the rotation. They do want to be broken after a poor P1. Kenny waiting patiently. Drazah already getting that first kill coming down. The pressure coming through in the mid, though. Huke is going to get it. Drazah looking for it. Kenny already going to get gunned down as well. And it is a stalemate. It's both teams flooding from the sides.
Yeah, Ghosty kind of baited it there initially for his teammates to find a way through, and he will find 2 more kills himself. Good play from Ghosty. It's a nice break from OpTic Texas. Thieves on the whole percentage are not necessarily at the top end of things. Breaking is where they find the majority of their points, but they are struggling to hold P2 here. It's a scrappy one so far. Shotzzy will find 2 and 3 to break things open. Ghosty to clear it up. It's going to be about the rotation heading over towards Kitchen now. Drazah can do very little. Keep an eye on the spawns. It is going to still be Thieves towards that restaurant side. And they're all spawning up there. So it's only Huke here against 4 members of Thieves.
And this is what we said could be the issue. Thieves did not want to let that go that quickly as well. They've got to be careful. Another rotation. Another time Thieves are in position in kitchen. And now here comes the first push. Dashy. Quite like a member of his team to back him up here for the trade, and you can see them flying through as well, but Kenny will take down Shotzzy before he can do anything, and Dashy reacts to it, but Kenny again finds the second, and that's a stagger for Texas.
Yeah, good play from Kenny, because that just slows down OpTic Texas. Now they can't fly through the front door. Octane will find one at the Shotzzy as well. First sign of an answer back coming in from Ghosty, who can find a second as well. Drazah doesn't land a bullet. Ghosty flying around the corner and eviscerates Envoy. And there's the break out of absolutely nothing but Dan Ghosty masterclass. It's 3 to find the break. Huge plays from Ghosty.
They're going to try and break back in here. It's a 2 versus 2 in the kitchen. You can see Shotzzy's going to fly through the movement maestro. Finds another kill at the same time. 20 scrap seconds left. One player from Thieves is trying to break through. It's Octane, but he goes down as well. And Thieves really aren't finding their feet here on this hard point.
Yeah, it's been a slow start. OpTic Texas, they're not the first ones there. The breaking has been quite simply outrageous, and it's just been by brute force for the most part. That's 3 from Ghosty through the front door. Thieves, though, will find themselves in a position where they can set up nicely here. But they need to start holding some of these hills. The rotations have been solid. You haven't got many points, though.
Well, let's see. Because if it is the same story, it could be a disaster for Thieves. They are in. Texas are mounting pressure, but this time they are not finding the kills. It is a hold from Thieves.
Better from Octane. 9 and 6 from him. And this just sits into the ground. Players running up on him. Him on a head glitch. Him beaming them. Dashy, big kill onto Drazah there. Can't find any more, though. Stuff break here for OpTic Texas. These were the first good hold of the game, though.
And finally, as they get some points on the board, they're probably feeling a little bit loose and freer into this hard point. But let's find out how they're feeling in the comms with an LA Thieves. Listen in.
Hey, why was this guy old? I'm
Shout with them, Simp.
Hot up, could be double.
I have you there. Shut up, Fred.
Hot up, could be in secret. Could be in secret.
Hot up, going in. He made it.
Nice job.
I'm out,
Shotzzy.
Secret again.
He's not a secret. Couch, Only white.
Deep left.
I have it.
I have that.
Kyler. I can get mid. Kyler killed Ken.
I have one. Yeah, Kyler does that.
He's gonna be on me.
I have them.
Secret hit it. In cat room.
I'm living.
He's gonna push you.
Okay, I'm living.
Kyler's gonna push out. I'm here, Ken. I'm here.
Yeah, I just want to catch with you.
I'm gonna hit this. I'm done. I don't see this guy catch. He's a done. Back left. Yeah, front white at a time.
He might hit cat. Yeah, he could go mid.
He could jump.
I think he did.
Thunder. I hear him.
I'm
playing this old. Careful.
It's a done. Okay, that's all you.
There's 2 ults.
All 3 here.
All 3 ults.
That's free. Close secret. I'm gonna
show back.
2 already in catch. 2 already catch.
I got both.
Nice. I funded behind them.
Yeah, it could be long. I need it solo just in case.
Help it old. One can be front already.
Yeah, that's my friend.
I love it.
I have a bottom.
What can be kitchen?
And the Thieves can rotate, but they cannot hold against OpTic over and over again. It does look like OpTic Texas are in their groove at the moment, but let's find out if the vibes are also flowing with OpTic Texas. Listen in.
Hop up one shot inside door kitchen in the back right time. They're all weak. They're all really weak. They have no trophy, by the way.
Oh, I'm in bed. Bottom bed dead. We can chop it.
Right side time. He's deep right time on the heading.
What deep left?
Back kitchen dead. I'm contesting.
Deep left, one shot. Nice, good shot.
Let's go.
Yeah,
He was weak, Kenny.
I'm just standing here.
I'll be back, sit down.
Hold inside door kitchen.
One more pool area.
They're spawning
front.
I'll be back, cheers.
Outer.
One shot,
Nice.
sit on. Alright,
We're missing Octane.
He's got head.
Yeah, they're gonna spawn kitch.
I have back kitch right now. I have your back from kitch.
Ain't dead.
Nice.
Yeah, one's in kitch or TV or something. We're missing Envoy and Kenny. I'm gonna go pool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go cat while you hold pool.
When is beacon?
I have your guys top cat.
Yeah, spawn. I'm
One
being
getting
annoying.
couches, by the way.
He's like white block,
Being annoying,
pretty sure.
He's on side of white block, I think.
There's a guy spawning in. I'm behind doubles.
Yeah, he's absolutely down.
No, decon.
Nothing couches.
I spawn pitch.
Dead.
Okay,
Better single spawns.
One spawn left on me. Absolute. Going white.
I'm
I have single. I have all your guys single.
I pull.
I have all your guys single, by the way.
When is that gonna be?
P2.
When he shot
And I don't know which is more ferocious, the comms or the gunny. OpTic Texas putting everybody to the sword so far in this map. And Ghosty's a walking UAV.
Sheer brutality around the back spawns from Huke. They haven't managed to get a hold of the spawns over towards P2, but yeah, something I pointed out to you, it feels like Ghosty is the one running the comms right now. Sitting at 12 and 16, but the callouts have been on point. Thieves have found a rotation over towards P2. Important they find the kill onto Shotzzy as well. Again, a good soaked up time for OpTic Texas. It's going to be an 80-point lead as we head over towards reception. Huke inside the point being annoying. The rest of his team are on the way.
Huke's got something different like Vaznet today. He hasn't really missed as the team kill does come in for them. But realistically, LA Thieves need to hold this for the full time. The first one has been deflected from Texas. Thieves have an opportunity here. If they can get all the time off of this hill and have a good rotation, they are back in this map.
Huke and Shotzzy through the front door, though. They just brute forced their way through once again. Octane and Drazah, you gotta get the gunny up, and my goodness me, they do it to the highest level. 2 kills apiece, and all of a sudden OpTic Texas are now reeling just a little bit. Shotzzy spawning in over towards the sparse side will get dealt with, and that is P2 time. 20 seconds remaining, and look at the rotation that's come through. Kenny has slipped the net. OpTic Texas are going to be here first, but Kenny has got to go huge for the team on this rotation over towards kitchen.
They call him Kylo Ken, but is he feeling the force today? He's looking for the first one on Huke. He hasn't managed to get it as the movement comes in, and OpTic shut him out completely. This is now a hard break for Thieves. They have to get across the map, check the corners, find the gunny, and break into this hill.
First good kill onto Shotzzy. Huke is able to slow them down, goes for the Charlie again, and it's a trade that suits OpTic. They're going to start spawning out. LA Thieves will know that the pinch is being set up here. They've got to move quickly, and they've got to look at 2 different directions. OpTic Texas, 20 points away. The hold is looking good so far. Can Thieves do anything about this?
Drazah trying to make a one-man show for himself, but he hasn't managed to. Ghosty's still alive in there. He has reinforcements with him in face of Shotzzy as it does go contested, but Shotzzy just killing any player who looks at the doorway. Huke backing him up as well as OpTic do not even bend a little against this pressure from Thieves. And with 9 seconds to go, surely it's done.
5 seconds. Thieves are going to find a perfect break here. Envoy will be able to find one. Huke will clean it up. It's 4 seconds. It's map 1, OpTic Texas. It was just so good from them.
We asked, out of the 2 hardpoint titans in the CDL this stage, who is better today? And the answer is a very resounding, very clear OpTic Texas.
And I think what's the big surprising factor in that one, we were talking about it at the top of the show. We were talking about it as we were heading into the hard point. Rotations for OpTic Texas were crucial. The rest of the stats leaning towards that being such an important thing for them when it comes down to a win on Hotel. But it was them finding the breaks, which has typically always been the bread and butter of LA Thieves. Thieves were there at first the majority of the time. They just couldn't hold to save their lives. Texas coming in with some crazy break sums that will be looked back on if you're the LA Thieves coaching staff. You got to think about that one from Ghosty, finding 3 on his way into kitchen. You can't let that kind of thing happen. It's a big win for OpTic Texas, nearly a 100-point deficit for Thieves. You would have expected maybe a bit of a better performance out of them in map number 1 there.
Yeah, realistically, OpTic just looked like the better team at keeping it chaotic. They were just able to always get bodies into the point. And those bodies didn't have to do much other than make LA Thieves break position and get into a disadvantageous gunfight a lot of the times here. Not to mention the fact that in this highlight we saw Ghosty just break a hill himself because he felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best players we've seen from Ghosty. He's not really been that guy who's going to come in with those solo moments. You would expect that to kind of come through from somebody like Dashy, Ghosty, even Huke. Sorry, Dashy, Shotzzy, even Huke. But Ghosty coming up with the goods at that scenario all on his own. Fantastic play from him, locking down the hills. And what I was really impressed with listening, you know, I was saying to you, it sounds like he's leading the team. Callouts coming through, the breaks were well coordinated. A good all-round team performance from OpTic Texas. I'd be very, very happy with that one. Good start.
Wow. There we go. We asked the question in hardpoint, who comes out hotter? And this time it's going to be OpTic. Moving on to the S&D though. Both these teams have had mixed fortunes moving forward. Also Huke, by the way, he was shooting absolute missiles. 27 and 18, a 1.5. And we saw him heat up probably about the first third of that map and never stopped.
Yeah, I think it was honestly the big moment that we seen from him was heading over towards P1 in the second rotation. He was finding so many crucial kills towards the backside and just forcing Thieves away. And honestly, it felt like OpTic got a lot of time over towards P1 on both rotations. Initially off the rip is the most impressive. And then on top of that, on the second rotation as well. soaking up some good time over towards P1. Never a bad trait to have. Fortress Search and Destroy is going to be coming up next. We get another look at Expo Control, which I am enjoying immensely so far. But Fortress coming up next. It's a hard one to call between these two teams. It is still all to play for there. And that would have been a map OpTic Texas would have been feeling confident about. It is probably more favored towards them on the stat side of things. I just think the way that Thieves lost it, they'd probably be a little bit disappointed by. You know, they set themselves up with those rotations, which is not something they typically do try and do. If you're finding the rotations and you still break as well as Thieves typically do, you're in a good spot. Found the rotations, just didn't find the holds.
Yeah, and that's probably something they'll go back and look at kind of in the VR, because if you get rotations like that consistently, you only really need to stop them dead on one to give yourself a serious advantage going forward. If you've been tied up and you get 60, you are significantly ahead. Unfortunately, it never really worked for them. LA Thieves playing the fundamentals very, very well. Unfortunately, the raw horsepower of OpTic Texas basically just punched through those defenses every single time. And like I said, some of that was just the way that they ended up playing. When you got Huke and Shotzzy being very, very tricky, Dashy getting the cuts when he needed to, and Ghosty basically doing everything but the kitchen sink, it was difficult for Thieves to feel confident at any point. You know, they would have a setup, they would have a rotation, and then lose key gunfights.
Yeah, and I kind of go back to something that the desk said when we're in the major. It's like sometimes you go into a hard point and they can just smoke you. Like, I mean, that can kind of happen to anybody. You guys at home will know. You play around and sometimes you just get gunned. On every occasion, it felt like OpTic Texas were doing the right things, though, setting themselves up in the right positions to find those gunfights. And as we head into a Search and Destroy on Fortress, OpTic Texas will be feeling good about the 2-4 record on the other side of things, coming up from the side of LA Thieves. But the last time around that these two teams played, who won it? It was Thieves. Took this in around 11. Let's see if OpTic Texas can avenge that loss and find themselves with a 2-0 lead heading into Expo. They'll be feeling super confident. And then you start staring down the barrel of a 3-0. I'm getting a bit further down the road, Pricey, but it is an option for OpTic Texas. So you can find yourself 2-0 up here. You're feeling so good in this series.
Oh, Octane just going for the pre-fire. Right now, neither of these two teams being too aggressive, and I say that, and Shotzzy gets himself into a position. This might be a kill because of this nade. He's going to get it out, gets the Kirk as well, and he is going to get two. He gets traded, but that nade ends up killing two of the Thieves. And full advantage now to OpTic Texas.
That was actually Ghosty's nade coming in, so Shotzzy puts the nade down. The call-out must be there. Calling him weak. Good team comms coming in from OpTic Texas. We might not hear them, but we get the example. Big nade coming over from Ghosty, and look where he is. He's all the way over towards the blacksmith side, so that's across the map. Good coordination from OpTic to find those two kills. Now 2 versus 3 for Kenny and Envoy to try and figure out in weird positions, so trying to find a pick to even the odds and then go from there, but a lot of audio cues here from Kenny will surely be heard. Dashy will find him. It's a 1v3 needed from Envoy.
Envoy will pick the bomb back up, but Ghosty's already seen him. He's going to be called out. He's going to be surrounded. He's going to run into troubles, and down he goes. And that all started from that 2-piece nade that went off at the beginning of the round.
I would love to have seen it from Ghosty's POV. It looks like he was pretty far away to find the nade. But just good comms. Shotzzy playing his life. Stun out. Got him dead to rights in the corner. Teammate comes to back up the Thieves player. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Isn't able to do anything. So first round over towards OpTic Texas. First blood conversion. Not the best, but they do find quite a lot of them. Find a couple there as well.
Let's see. Can they convert this attacking round as well? Already a big push into inside for the control. And this looks like a nade lineup. Here it goes.
Nobody there.
Doesn't get anything from you. You can already see Thieves are taking under control. And Envoy is going to go down already. It's very, very aggressive here from Thieves. They've gone for the playstyle, but they are finding nothing. Bad timing on the pop of the dead silence.
And if you're Thieves there, they obviously have been watching the VOD because OpTic Texas like to play those nades quite often, which means that they don't necessarily have somebody bottom R. That scenario, they didn't. LA Thieves take control of that, but find absolutely nothing but Dashy. So you've given up the A site. You now have to go for the retake. It's a 3 versus 2 in favor of OpTic Texas. Cruising right now in the Search and Destroy. 30 seconds.
This is not an easy retake. All of OpTic sitting still, sitting patiently, waiting to trade. Huke will be the first one up. Octane needs to check this corner. He might get the right time. No, Huke's going to see him. Oh my goodness. Nothing for Thieves.
That's a tough one. Very, very hard to break that back in. Huke is almost the sacrificial lamb. If you're OpTic Texas there, you play the site, and even if he dies, it's okay because he will get that information that you look in one way, and then the push can come from OpTic Texas to retake quickly if they need to. Unselfish player, but is there ready to find the kill anyway as the rest of his teammates clean up on the other side. Good play from OpTic Texas again, but that was a kind of a roll of the dice from Thieves. Big push into Art, didn't work out that time. OpTic Texas going to read into that next time when we go over towards the other side. Or are they going to just continue to play their game and happy to go for the retake? Looking like a slow and steady one from OpTic Texas this time around. Thieves once again getting aggressive down the street side of the map.
This is all about waiting to strike here. Huke looking for it as well. Envoy watching bottom Art. Does he jump out here as well? Throws a nade, waits for the player to come through, and it's going to know a person's there as well, but cannot capitalize on it. There are too many guns watching this.
Just can't chal that. Cannot chal that. Good information, no. And that's slowing down OpTic Texas from getting themselves into a position to prevent what's about to happen. Looking like that bomb's going to go down, but somebody getting themselves into a position is potentially Huke. Dead silence popped. Hasn't found anything yet. Will find one now. Ghosty able to find one himself. Even the odds is Envoy. Now all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 2 for Octane.
Huke is different, and Dashy will now play his life for as long as possible as Octane tries to find him but can't, and has to take the bomb as well. Huke's going to be there, and of course he gets the next kill. It's flawless, it's fantastic, and it's 3 rounds for OpTic Texas.
Dashy is made of something different. I do not know how that man has not died. Octane will be saying that to his teammates. He has put a hell of a lot of attack bullets into him. Dashy surviving, I would have loved to know what these health went down to there because it wouldn't have been much. Somehow surviving, just playing his life. Octane in that scenario knows he has to get rid of him. He has to go for that challenge. He has to make sure he finds that kill on the Dashy. And because Dashy knows that as well, he just plays his life, allows Huke to get himself into a position. And even if Octane finds that as late as he possibly could have, Huke's already in the spot to trade that one out. OpTic Texas cruising here, Bryce.
Yeah, it is looking pretty simple for them. Gonna need an adjustment here from LA Thieves. There's an A lineup again. Hoping to find something this time. Let's see if it gets the hit. Oh no, Kenny's managed to take down Drazah with a stun. They do get a nade check, but they don't get the kill off the lineup. Not really that they need it. They already got first blood from a team kill.
Does that count as a first blood? Technically. I'm not sure how it does in our stats. Tim will probably let me know, but it's a big hit from OpTic Texas. Over towards the A side. Numbers advantage thanks to Thieves. Kenny looking for the pick, looking for his first kill of the game. Can't quite find it, has to back down. OpTic Texas forced the issue. It's a 4v3 retake needed for Thieves.
Shotzzy round the flank as well. Dashy gets another one. Octane left alone. 1 versus 4. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to run. And down he falls. OpTic Texas 4-0. It's a non-stop winning train for the Green Wall.
And just impossible for Thieves in that stage. You've given away that kill for nothing. Not quite sure how it's even transpired, to be honest with you. And OpTic Texas just take it and run with it immediately. Smiles all around the vibes. At an all-time high for OpTic Texas right now. Apart from Huke, he just looks locked in, to be honest with you, but that's how he looks all the time.
I'll tell you something. Huke needs to add a Y on the end of his name. And they can all match. More chemistry. But, dreams aside, the nightmare for LA Thieves is what we are currently watching. They cannot find anything going. They cannot get any kills. They cannot get any bombs down. They certainly cannot get any rounds.
I mean, what's been a big problem for Thieves typically is first blood conversion. When it has come down to it. Thieves lost this map yesterday 6-4 and had 5 first bloods during that game. Only converted 2 of them. They haven't really had any first bloods to help them try and rectify that conversion rate. Pushing over towards A now is going to be the play of a Ghosty through the door, and OpTic Texas know exactly what's going on here, but a kill from Drazah will just ease some of that pressure. But look how close OpTic got to try and retake this one. Here we go.
Still tries coming through. Kenny with attack is trying to make sure he stays alive, and he does. And Ghosty in a 1 versus 2, and down he falls eventually. LA Thieves get a point onto the board here in this S&D, but it was a little bit close to call. Fortunately, the trades just worked out for Thieves that time.
Just a nice retrial from Cammy. They managed to eventually get into the site unscathed for what feels like the first time. It's a push from open. OpTic Texas have forced themselves up into that position and feel like they have to take the opportunity. They know if they go for a challenge, things get a little bit crazy. Most of the time, it's them who come out on top. This time, though, Kenny with the off angle will find the first and the second. A nice rechild comes through, and that will be the round. Huke very passive, expecting the aggression from Thieves and bomb out. Again, they're going to get it. Kenny will find one, and his teammates another kill onto their own team from Thieves.
The one benefit Thieves have right now is map control. And he's going to hear him as well. Envoy finds Ghosty. Huke will call in this. Fortunately, the members of Thieves are undercover, but it comes down to a 2 versus 2 ton.
Thieves can win this. That's a streak burned. No bomb for OpTic Texas. Thieves are in a position to lock this one down as well, and they're going to see a lot of bodies heading over towards that B side. But now is the reposition there for Thieves. Do you know where the bomb is?
They don't. They're being very, very careful, checking their angles, so I don't suspect they have. Octane's a little bit worried somebody has slipped through here. It does mean that Kenny is alone in this trade situation for a few seconds.
Kenny's getting some audio cues. He knows what's going on. Here they are, and Dashy's going to get caught with his pants down, though. 2v1.
Huke's still going to plant Octane on Overwatch. Can Huke perform the miracle? Already takes some damage. There's a chow coming through the doorways. Who gets the first? Huke looking for the second against Octane as bullets fly out towards the fast. They're firing as well as both teams snake, bake, shake and die, and Huke finds the 1 versus 2. Oh my goodness. They had the opportunity. They had the numbers, but they weren't Huke.
And the push is arguably just a little bit too quick from Kenny. It's a super difficult one because you're both in the same spot. If they take their time, then Huke can maybe get away. They go for the chow, but it's not coordinated well enough at all. And Huke picks them off one by one. OpTic Texas can do no wrong here.
And Huke is a different animal today. 8-1. Will he end this round right here and right now? Shotzzy and Huke have both popped dead silent. Shotzzy already going to be on the flank. He's going to find at least one. He waits. He's patient. He's going to get the second. But the damage is already done. Kenny in a 1 versus 2.
They just pinched from 2 different angles as soon as the flank comes through. So do the rest of OpTic Texas from the front. It's just far too easy. Search and destroy goes their way. It's as simple as you like. Thieves have not turned up yet. And OpTic Texas have not taken their foot off their throat from the word go. Phenomenal search and destroy from them. Picked them off where they needed to, got aggressive when they wanted. And Thieves did damage to themselves along the way. OpTic Texas are firmly in this driving seat now.
Oh my, well, everything. That is ridiculous. A 10-1 from Huke, and it never looked anything but comfortable. It never looked like they were in the same league. LA Thieves have just been battered about the fortress by a green wall ascendant. And if there's one thing you got to say, obviously, second to the last major, looking like one of the favorite teams coming into the next one.
It's a hard line now if you look at it. The Thieves, yeah, Macari Hardpoint they'll be feeling good about, but after map 1, you never know. Search and destroy, you're still not feeling good after what was an absolute beating on Fortress. If you do manage to get it to LSZ, but it's the reverse sweep that is absolutely needed now from Thieves. Expo coming up, there's obviously a question mark around that. We've already seen it from OpTic, but we haven't yet seen it from Thieves. It's an interesting one. It could go either way, but Thieves absolutely do need it. A 3-0 is on the cards for OpTic Texas, though, Brycey, and with the way they're playing right now, I wouldn't put it past them.
Certainly wouldn't. Well, we're going to go to a break, but before we do, of course, we have Spylights presented to you by Citadel, which you can now catch on Amazon Prime Video on the 28th, I believe. But who is this pro? Played on FaZe and OpTic in the same year. A picture of him became a meme and owns a clothing brand. That is an interesting one to figure out. Well, get your thinking caps on, have a good look, and we'll see you right after this break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by the new series Citadel, premiering on April 28, only on Prime Video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Who is that pro? To remind you, they played on FaZe and OpTic in the same year. A picture of them became a meme, and they own a clothing brand. Ton, any ideas?
You know what? I was struggling just a little bit, but the picture of the meme one got it right through the door for me. It is, of course, Embos. There you go. Anybody in the chat get one? Anyone get it? Did anyone? I'd imagine the majority of them. There you go.
We get the meme as well. Of course, that's Spylights presented to you by Citadel, sponsoring the CDL this year, and hopefully they're watching because this game is going to a control, and technically the statistics do favor LA Thieves in this one, but the momentum and maybe the feelings don't. And it's all gone a bit dark in the LA Thieves arena. A change of lighting, maybe a change of mood.
I mean, the vibes are flowing. They're still feeling good. And I think the reason for that is they are 3-0 against OpTic in control. So is that going to carry over to Expo, though? That's the question. LA Thieves, for the most part, have had their number when it has come down to control, but they haven't played this map. So a lot of questions still to be asked. It's an interesting one to go into. Drazah, he needs to bring his A game here against OpTic Texas, but is the comeback potentially on? Was delving into maps 4 and 5, Bryce. Is still difficult to see a way out for Thieves now, a 2-0 down, but you never know. You never know.
You don't, and the one good thing is, with the lights off in LA Thieves, at least they're all ready for bed that the OpTic are looking to tuck them into. And I'm going to see a bit of an aggressive start. Shotzzy going straight into B here. It's a bit of a stack coming through as well, as they look to get this done quickly.
Yeah, we've seen teams start to develop just a little bit more of a strat on this map in particular. He's a little bit harder to get a hold of, but everyone's been hitting it nice and early. But Kenny is there to slow this one down. It's already a tick in for OpTic Texas. They're happy to take that, but Shotzzy towards the backstage will just continue to stay alive. The rest of the team pivoting over towards the A side. It's a good map movement coming in from OpTic Texas. A good answer from Thieves as well.
Shotzzy hasn't really done an awful lot yet so far, but they know they have to look for him, and they have found him as well. The tick slowly coming into A. They've already got one on to B.
Nicely done by Thieves. They're really still concentrating on keeping a hold of those spawns and keeping a hold of the control and forcing OpTic away as much as they can. One player who did drop back though was Drazah. Has allowed OpTic Texas to find themselves in a good spot. He wasn't expecting that. Shotzzy now able to push forward. Restaurant control or sauna control is really what he wants to play for here if he can. Rest of the team on the inside of the map not able to get much going. Thieves in a good spot here. Just about clearing them out. They can now force themselves up that left-hand side of the map, and it forces OpTic Texas with that spawn over towards the statue side.
Okay, that's going to be a stun check against him. He's going to be some serious trouble. He is looking for this streak, but I don't think he's going to find it. He's on 2 health, and they have the information. Just managed to get away from his teammates. Going to be cleaning up as well. OpTic looking to try and get out of this spawn trap. Try to get on a B and find something in this attack.
And the problem is here for OpTic, though, you're in such an unfavorable gunfight at nearly every single level when you head over towards this side, and well, every gunfight at this moment in time feels favorable for Kenny. 7-0 to kick things off. There's a cruise missile in your back pocket for further rounds, and there is pretty much nothing that OpTic Texas have been able to do here. But Huke and Ghosty finding some kills, push over towards A. Spawn side of things now looking a little bit better for the side of OpTic Texas. They will start spawning over towards the other side when they do die, but they haven't done for quite some time. Good progress today.
Kenny looking to continue on his
Oh my God.
That was an unbelievable shot at the same time. He is weak. He's going to go on one last challenge. Not going to get it as Octane takes him off his streak. How dare you?
Sam having a hell of a stage so far. Not wanting to be outshone by Kenny, but happy to allow him to keep that 8-0 tag. The streak does end. OpTic Texas have now found a little creak in the door and push over towards B. That time is going to be extended. 2.7 on the clock, make that 1 minute and 2 seconds now. Good heads up play from OpTic Texas. As soon as they get the call, all of them respawn back up. It's heads down straight up towards B. Big caps coming through. But now you have to spread out the map. You have to try and find some kills. Thieves are just going to play nice and awkward. Kenny yet still to be killed by anyone on OpTic.
Shotzzy dancing around as he hits about Mack 3, dancing through the stage. This is still very much alive for OpTic. They just have to keep a little bit of map pressure coming through. Shotzzy looking for any player he can find. He stops this timer with a little bit of time left, but he's so outnumbered.
Yeah, the lives outnumbered as well for OpTic Texas. Not much they can do here. 6 lives to 14. 29 seconds remaining. It's going to take one really good break. Thieves have dropped back towards this side of the map now, but OpTic Texas, you don't have time to set up the perfect break. It's got to be through the front door.
And here we go. Clock stopped. Drazah waiting for Dashy. And everything has now slowed right down as both teams know this is the last hurrah. Dashy will find a kill, but it's 2 for Thieves. And now Envoy will sit on the point, lose it to Shotzzy, but Shotzi's alone, outnumbered, outgunned. And with 9 seconds left to go, this round is over. The benefit for for Texas is that they got 5 ticks.
Yeah, 5 ticks, not a bad effort on the attacking side. 1 away from taking the round. You will happily take it. Not too bad from OpTic. They'll not be too despondent from that, but eventually feels like Thieves getting their first significant step in this game. It's felt very one-sided so far. We'll be happy to take that defense, though. What can they do on the attack on their first foray onto Expo?
Let's see. Is it lights off? Gunning up for Thieves. They're a way back into this series for them. Kenny's 14 and apparently just likes playing in the dark ton. Like, I don't know what it is, but maybe there's a strategy they have.
Something about Thieves, nighttime and darkness, I don't know. I was thinking of a joke. Brain's not working very well today. Huke and Kodo trying to defend over towards the B side. Kenny still just being such a nuisance. Everywhere he goes, OpTic players seem to die. 15-1 to kick this off. Can't find another one here. Nice retake coming in from OpTic Texas. Want to try and get control of theater as much as they can. It's probably the best opportunity to find a break over towards B. That's why we're seeing so many teams head straight over towards it. Not a lot of control for the defensive side. LA Thieves have got a good foothold over towards B. These next couple of kills are crucial.
And Envoy gets caught by Dashy top bar. This may mean that OpTic make a move here. Drazah already waiting for the push. And it's slow and it's throwing off Thieves' timing. They're not looking the right directions, and Huke and Dashy will eventually swoop in. They get 2 of them. 2 ticks on B to begin with, and these are probably wondering why these pushes are so slow.
OpTic Texas just been taking their time, and while they've taken their time too much, B's now going to go over towards the side of Thieves. OpTic Texas already extended over towards that street side. That will be Ghosty locking that one down. Shots raining through over towards the B side, but that point is gone. So good start from Thieves. Plenty of time to find something over towards the A side, but it's finding the break on this little spawn trap that is so difficult. And could it be through the backside? Can he continue his reign of terror? Yeah, Huke shuts him down. And now OpTic Texas in a good spot to pin Thieves back.
The key thing here is, can LA Thieves not only win the round, but can they get enough ticks to match them up? 16-4 from Kenny. He's calling in a cruise, probably for information more than the kill, as he finds nothing with it, but it does give an opportunity.
And the wrap-along streak coming in from Thieves. They have the time to just try and pick OpTic apart, but they've been picked apart themselves. Big kills coming through, but Drazah staying alive towards this side is actually quite important. The rest of the team can now move over towards that street side, set themselves up in a better position. Drazah finding a second as well is huge. OpTic Texas need to start holding on. My God, Drazah, he's doing it on his own. The rest of the team now on the way as well. A good opportunity for Thieves to go 2-0 up here.
Shotzzy still playing that power position to the bar, making sure to keep those reinforcements down as much as possible, but Ghosty in a prime position as well. Texas have map control. It will be Thieves that have to move through the gates and the doors and the windows to find something. Shotzzy is just going to get gunned by Kenny. What are you doing?
Oh, he nearly finds Huke as well. This is the best look at an 8-hit that we've seen from either one of these 2 teams so far. Big kill from Envoy there onto Ghosty as well. The pressure is still on. 15-11. The lives are there for OpTic Texas, but they've got to find something. LA Thieves have had some presence here for quite some time. The stack's going to start coming through.
They've got 3. That second tick is rocketing forward. Dashy goes to Chow, but gunned by Octane.
That's the round.
Nice streak for Octane. Doesn't make it the 6th, though. That's actually a huge kill from Ghosty. But this round is over. And LA Thieves move forward in this control in very competent fashion.
And OpTic Texas just never really had a good stronghold on that street side of the map. When you do push up there, forces the spawns for Thieves way back towards the statue, which is further towards that B side. You then have to check so many more corners when you're then trying to force and get some street control. There's so many different places the defensive team can be. But it was Drazah who've managed to find 2 or 3. And then from that stage, OpTic Texas never got control of that step side of the street, which is what then forces the team to then spawn back towards the statue. And when you can't find that, the spawns are closer. LA Thieves are there faster. The kills are all staggered. Thieves find the trades where they need to. They go in their favor. The stack comes in. The round comes in. Now Thieves have the defensive side of things to close out the game and force a map 4.
Oh, we're going to get taken down there in the end, and it will be more players moving in. Octane waiting for this angle, but he might get caught. They're already going to know it's behind him as they check the corner again. It hasn't worked out the last 2 times for OpTic. It's almost going to be a wipe. Huke staying alive means they won't have to worry about being batted off spawn.
OpTic Texas filtering through into the theater. There's very much the LA Thieves show right now. Octane isn't able to find the kill, so Shotzzy's going to open things up here. Kenny towards the back, though, has been a constant nuisance, but nobody's got a grenade on his forehead. Huke will find the kill. Looking like an early potential B. Coming in from OpTic Texas. If they can get a hold of this and have plenty of time over towards A, they could be laughing here, and they could find a comeback. Thieves are backed on down over towards the A side. Happy to gain control of that side of the map. Looks like they're going to hand over B towards the side of OpTic Texas.
It's still very much alive here for Texas in this. They may be down 2-0. But get this point, get this round, and everything's still to play for. Obviously, will be chowed one last time, but it's an easy pick for him in the end. 2 minutes to go. Lives all even.
We talk about that street control. Plenty of it here for LA Thieves. Actually, I have Envoy over there supporting Drazah. You see where OpTic spawn? You just see where Huke is, number 7. Towards that statue side. That's where you end up spawning if you are on the attacking side and there's somebody pushed up towards the street. And look how slow and methodical OpTic Texas can be this time, because they have so much more time on the table.
Shotzzy considering the longest of shots against Octane. But patience wins out. He knows a player's going to be here as well. And I think Shotzzy's been seen. And he's going to fall down in a second. They were relying on him there for the play. And it's a complete wipe in the end. Shotzzy wanted to be the catalyst for some sort of push. And instead, they've just burned 45 seconds.
That's the thing with this. You really do need to take your time. You need to pick them apart. You can't just run head down, hope you're going to gun them. Yeah, okay, sometimes it might happen, but it's a difficult position to do it from. Still spawning all the way over towards that statue side. Just so many hard gunfights on the way over towards A. 50 seconds remaining. Lives and rounds very much in the side. The LA Thieves. Map control is there, but Shotzzy might just try and cause some chaos. Gets inside the point. Dashy will be able to find 1. Octane can answer back. It's 6 in a row for Sam, but the rest of his team have all fallen.
He's got the 7-0. Tries to juke the kill cam there as well, but he's taken a lot of shots, gone down.
Dangerous.
Slow here.
Dangerous.
Shotzzy makes a huge 2. Kenny alive, looking for Shotzzy. Gonna find him eventually. And that just slows it. Octane also going to be calling in this streak. He knows. Has to put OpTic as much on the back foot as possible. And he slips it through into Huke.
Slows down that push. Just huge from Octane to find anything. As everyone from Thieves falls. Staying alive as long as he can. Spawn's not able to quite be manipulated by OpTic Texas as well as they would. And look at the beams coming out from Octane. 29-13 had a pretty slow start to this series, but the control has been so one-sided. These are surely going to tie it up. Find a map. The comeback could potentially be on.
Yeah, Kenny started off hot and Octane decided to finish it. Absolutely non-moving tack. One player left. It's just going to be Ghosty. This is over. I mean, it's definitely over, right? Ghosty finds 2. Second tick is going to be in. Ghosty's going to look for the 3rd. There's no way this happens. He's got 3. Not going to get the 4th. Oh, that would have been a play dreams are made of, but it is not to be so. And Octane looks stressed. The guy just went 29-14 or something.
I think he might be stressed because there's still plenty of maps to be played. Their backs are still against the wall. But that was really, really impressive. And Thieves just have their number in control. That's now 4 in a row on the control side of things. LA Thieves, when you're going up against OpTic Texas, 30-13. It's a big, big game from Octane. But honestly, they made it look pretty easy. They've got a good handle on Expo. A lot of teams will look at that and sort of say to themselves, yeah, Thieves look pretty decent on that. OpTic, it looks solid. Thieves just put them to bed there, Bryce.
Yeah, they did. I apologize to Octane. I said something ridiculous like 29 and 14, but apparently it's 30 and 13. Kenny with a hot start in the beginning. We thought that was going to be the biggest play this game. Turns out Octane barely even got warmed up. He was 4 and 4 at this point, which means, well, if you do your math, that he has had an incredible game. 26 and 9 for the rest of the time, Ton.
Absurd stat lines going in from Octane again this season. He's having a hell of a time.
Wait a minute.
For in the online stage.
He's 11 and 9 here.
Oh, wow.
It's outrageous how good he actually ended up finishing. He only dies 4 more times in this map.
Absurd stat lines coming out for some of the boys on LA Thieves. And honestly, yeah, okay, Octane will be the one that stands out, but Drazah on some massive kills, especially in the attacking round, which is ultimately what wins them. Yeah, look, Thieves found themselves 2 defenses, which you would expect, but winning that attacking round is the crucial thing to do when it comes down to any control map, and specifically the defensively sided ones, which Expo currently still is. That will go over towards Thieves and will take the reverse sweep to get the job done. And a Mikado hard point is what you're presented with in map number 4, which should be incredibly spicy. OpTic Texas have won 6 straight on Mikado, but LA Thieves are no slouches when it does come down to this hard point map. This should be interesting, but really good performance from Thieves when it comes down to control. I'd argue we may not see that for them in a little while now. They seem to have got that one locked down. Good play from Thieves.
Yeah, it's going to become one of these things for Vito's as we move into the major as well. Teams are trying it out. Him or Matt is getting sprinkled into the rotation.
A bit more of it.
I don't think anybody is fully confident on it yet, and that's always going to be an issue when you do come into a new map in the CDL. But hey, it's better than Fortress. Moving on, though, of course, the hardpoint up next. And we said before, right, like both these teams had a very, very good record on hardpoint this stage. I was always leaning slightly towards OpTic. They have been the better team. Remember, the last time they lost one, I think, was obviously Toronto, all the way back when in the grand finals of Major number 3 in Texas. Since then, though, they've been putting everyone away, and they did it as well on that Sunday in Texas. The Thieves have looked good, but are they OpTic Texas good?
Well, I mean, even before that, Toronto lost. What was it? It was either 9-11, something like that, in a row before that. And then since then, they've went on a kind of similar streak as well. So, okay, well, Toronto maybe have them on the hard point side of things, or based on Toronto's performances as of recent, maybe not. Maybe OpTic Texas have ascended a little bit more. They've been so strong in this, but can Thieves break this streak? Specifically, as mentioned, the streak on this map is 6 for OpTic Texas. And it just feels like they just blow teams away on occasion. Yeah, okay, their macro is really solid, their rotations, etc., have all been great, but it's just sometimes the gunning. It's been incredibly hot from Mikado sided OpTic Texas. But looking over towards it, it's the same story in terms of the statistics. The rotations have been so important for OpTic Texas. The #1 ranked team, the second best team at breaking in this game is LA Thieves. But last time around, we've seen it the other way around. I mean, we've seen it was all about OpTic Texas finding the breaks. It was Thieves who were finding the rotations. Mikado, it's interesting. Similar kind of story as Hotel for both these two teams. We know what happened on Hotel. It was OpTic Texas by a comfortable margin. Can they close out the show here, or do we get a map number 5? I'm open for the latter, Brycey. I want the map 5.
Well, I'm sure some Green Wall fans rather not go that distance and just get this game over and done with, but hey, I'm all the way with you. Let's find out, though. Can Thieves do better in this hardpoint than last time? Or is it just the buzzsaw of Texas? And one thing you don't want to see is the human turret himself already getting off to a good start.
Yep. Octane can have a good game here. Those rotations, those breaks are going to be a lot harder for OpTic Texas. Octane setting himself up. My goodness. Can't miss right now. Huke will eventually deal with him. The rest of the reinforcements for the side of Thieves are here. But OpTic Texas scrapping for this point. Dashy will find that final kill. He does have a fight against Octane coming up in a second. Thieves still with the more favorable spawns as we head over towards P2 in just a second. There's a slight lead for them based off P1 as well.
You can see they're still looking for it. It might be OpTic. Just leave a player here to soak and then spread out and take every single angle they possibly can. As they have the lead going into P2, but positioning a little bit for Thieves, but they are going to spawn out. Envoy should catch Dashy here from behind. Doesn't need to. Octane already in a prime position to do it.
Shotzzy gets a good spawn over towards the back side. Spawns alleyway. Now he's in a position to help his team out, but Octane cannot just do it with attack, the knife in hand as well. We'll deal with Shotzzy, and now the push from OpTic Texas is going to have to be quite substantial from a couple of different angles here, because Thieves have had a chance to set up. Thieves are finding the kills. It's the alleyway push that's going to start coming in from OpTic, but Thieves still in control.
While they've been here and Octane is playing like this, it still hasn't looked great for Thieves. They're barely holding on to it, but they aren't getting the points they need. OpTic Texas close once again, looking for it as nades ricochet both sides.
Good play from Kenny. It's all about this rotational gunfight that's now going to start coming through. He eviscerates Shotzzy. Headshot multiplier for the win, and now all of a sudden Envoy is here. Kenny will be here momentarily as well. Big kills coming in from Dashy and Ghosty. Hell of a start from Thieves here. 8-1 from Octane. Ghosty guns Drazah. This one's far from over. OpTic Texas waking up, rotation locked in. Can they get the same amount of good time that Thieves did over towards P2?
And here we go. Dashy has players lining up against him, but Dashy don't miss. Finds the first on the Kenny. Trophy down, nades out, backing up, reinforcements flooding. And Thieves trying to get in position, but they know this is a horrible break. Every corner has a member of the green wall in it, and they cannot break through.
Such a hard break, such a good setup. OpTic Texas, every single base is covered, but here we go. Through the front door is going to be Envoy. Octane will find one at the Shotzzy in the mid-map as well, and all of a sudden the transitional kills coming through for OpTic Texas. They need to be there from Huke, not going to happen. Thieves with a really, really nice break. Just so well coordinated every single time. And your boy LaRue continues to shred. 10-3 from him, a great start. Rotation again, no. Going to be here for OpTic Texas, 33 points to their name. The LA Thieves are not going to be far away from 100 by the time we head over towards Barbershop.
Huke with a great cut here as well.
Great
He makes
read.
two of them. All isolated. Envoy is alone and outnumbered heavily. He won't get anything out of the back of it as well. OpTic Texas have this rotation. They have the perfect setup as well.
Well, they had the perfect setup over towards P3, Bricey. And that got split wide open. Oh, that's not going to be ideal either as well. That's going to be a spawn out coming through for Shotzzy. Dashy will probably join him as well, and now the push from the front's going to come from the Thieves. Shotzzy will be able to find two, though. Drazah inside the point now, trying to get in. It's going to be another break from Thieves, but OpTic are here.
And Shotzzy isn't missing every single gunfight. He's just killed Thieves one by one as they march into their doom. And OpTic, they needed this rotation in the Barbers, and they've all been served by Shotzzy. The rotation is on, though, and you can see Thieves will be here first.
Yeah, good mid-map spawn coming in from OpTic Texas as well. Are they going to be able to find this potential push? Thieves are here in numbers. But has the setup been good enough? Are they going to be able to read this? My God, Dashy guns Drazah, and that might just open up the floodgates yet.
Envoy, he's going to get done by Huke instantly. Unfortunately, Kenny gets one back, but he is super weak as well. Going to look for the reinforcements. They're looking for it as Kenny jumps around every single angle. He gets a second player at the same time. He knows one more's out here. Jumps over the fence, finds another one as well. And Kenny goes to work to save Thieves from being broken instantaneously.
Beautiful from Kenny. Octane slowed down, but Kenny started to get into his element once more. My word. Off the top row, Dashy gets dealt with. And Thieves, when they find the rotation, they're finding the kills. It's another great 60 points pretty much from the side of Thieves. That lead will be re-established once more. OpTic definitely within touching distance. Rotation will be important, but look at this break that's going to come through. 15 seconds remaining. Kenny's done some magic already. Gonna have to pull a rabbit out of the hat from this one, though.
Shotzzy and Kenny are going at it for scrap time. On the other side of the map, Octane is here and patient. It has given Thieves a little bit of an opportunity to get back into it. The difference in points between them is not big at all, but this rotation might be. Already, Dashy is going to find two, playing his life out. Shotzzy will eventually back him up, and while he goes down to Kenny, it's Shotzzy versus Kenny again. They're both sitting top, they both know where they are, and Shotzi's been stunned, he's been naded, but he's still alive.
OpTic Texas finding a way into this one, just a staggered push coming in from Thieves. They do have the numbers momentarily, though, so they'll start to try and force the issue. Big first kill coming up. Octane will be able to find it. Dashy finds two, though, breaking the back of LA Thieves immediately. The kills are answered back once again. No, OpTic Texas trying to hold on.
And this is just outrageous from both teams. They are turning the tempo to 11 and just going head to head every single time. It will be OpTic who will get the scrap time onto this one. We are off to the races. We are looking for this next rotation. Dashy is already here. He's facing down Kenny.
And that last hill just comes down to the kills trading in the favor of OpTic Texas time and time again. They have themselves now a lead for what feels like the first time in this game. I think it might be. Thieves now spawning out. Good setup here from OpTic Texas. Huke is so crucial for the team, as is Shotzzy. Oh.
And this is where it gets dangerous. Thieves start hot. If OpTic start to hit fire right now, the series will be over. Drazah wins a big gunfight. Huke has 6 health left, and Envoy will go for the trade. It's still going to be Ghosty. He's already set up and waiting. The car's on fire is his aim, as he just tries to use every bit of movement, mechanic, and gun he can find here. There's both teams again butt heads in a hard point.
Ghosty does so well to stay alive as long as he does. Lets the reinforcements now start to fly on through. Drazah will find 2, though. Well set up by his teammate. The bait's coming through. It's a nice break from Thieves, who really, it's felt like they've slowed down over the last couple of hills. OpTic Texas have been the ones there. Things getting a little bit more scrappy. We haven't seen any really good holes over the last couple of hills. It's such a tight game. It feels like when Thieves get there first, they are ones that find so many different points there. It's felt like a good chunk every single time. OpTic Texas has said have been scrappy though. They've been keeping touch, and they do have the lead as we head into the second rotation.
Huke playing his life here, not going to get the second kill against him. That's going to be 3 down for the Thieves. The crucial point here is going to be how much time do they bleed out of this P1, but can they find a way into P2? Already OpTic not putting too much pressure. I'll say that, and Dashy just absolutely blows his legs off. But is there a way through here for Thieves?
And it's just a bad scenario, isn't it? You can soak up that P1 time if you don't have P2 control. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe you can deal with the break. The slide spawn out for Ghosty there as the pressure starts to run on through, but it's going to end up being a pinch. You will get dealt with. 15 seconds remaining at P1. If you're Thieves, you need every single second of that, because this is going to be a very difficult break. Look at this deep push from Huke. This will just slow down Thieves so much, even if he doesn't find anything. They've got to turn around. They've got to find the kill. Huke should spawn up with his teammates now. There's only Thieves starting to push from the barbershop side. It's actually a mid-map spawn for him.
They're waiting for it. 3 down the back alley. Drazah and Huke getting the trades through first. Envoy going straight in, going straight through, looking for it. Wow, a perfect break from Thieves. OpTic get absolutely destroyed in shock and awe. They do not hold anything against them, and now they'll have their chance at their own break.
There's that break percentage, the high one from Thieves coming into full effect. It's just a force down the alleyway side, and they win their gunfights. They break on through. It's as simple as that. OpTic Texas, maybe a little bit of a pinch setup here over towards these final 25 remaining seconds. Kenny, well aware. That's now going over towards Thieves. They're going to break 200 by the time we head over towards P3, but OpTic Texas are going to have so much time to set themselves up, Pricey. 15 seconds of scrap. Look where OpTic are forcing the issue in the middle of the map, but with the setup over towards P3 as well. Thieves can take their time, but OpTic, the trenches are dug. They are ready and waiting for Thieves.
Kenny wants this kill against Shotzzy. Desperate to find this streak, to break this hill. But OpTic have built their wall. They have thrown their defenses up. They hold everything. Dark back alley and tin. Kenny gonna fly over. Player on the floor. It's gonna be Shotzzy already finding it as well. There is nothing here for Thieves.
40 seconds remaining. Over towards P3. Thieves have barely even got a look onto tin. It's the push from the back alley that is maybe going to orchestrate the Thieves to maybe finish this one. 30 seconds remaining. OpTic Texas take the lead, but here comes the push. The kills, though. Which way they're going? They're going towards OpTic Texas. Ghosty playing it to perfection. 22 seconds remaining. It's all about the rotation, but the first ones there are OpTic.
Oh, and it's perfect at the moment from OpTic. The rotation, the kills, but Octane finds 2. They have this. Huke has been the hero for them in this series so many times. They're looking for it again. Huke and Envoy. Surely he's going to be outnumbered. He's eventually going to get taken down by a nade. And OpTic go towards Cantina. They have to get past Drazah.
Are they going to be ready for it? Are they going to be ready? The answer is no. Drazah falls, so does everybody else on Thieves. It's pretty much a perfect break. Kenny is there, ready for the rest of his team to find a way through, but OpTic Texas are 10 away.
They're going to fall down. Kenny will find 1, though. Trades going through, but they are not going through for Thieves. 5
Gotta go.
Kenny has to go for it as well. And oh my goodness, what a gunfight by Kenny as he dives into his 249, 250. It's done. OpTic with the rotation to the rotation will take down LA Thieves. The reverse sweep will not be recognized today, but they are stressed and they are thankful. And OpTic Texas move forward for their so far flawless qualifier.
And just a break at the end. so forceful from OpTic down Cantina side and then holding the mid-map to cut off the reinforcements. Kenny's there left all alone, and nobody from Thieves can get there to help him. And honestly, when I see Thieves and Octane specifically finding those 2 kills towards the backside, from there I think that Thieves are going to have a good opportunity. But Shotzzy and Co just find a way every single time, and it was a game of really breaks. We've seen both teams find so many, but ultimately the ones that mattered, the ones that were more efficient, came from OpTic Texas. It's 2 hard points. Again, they're just unbeatable in this mode at this moment in time. Comfortable, if anything, as well.
More than comfortable. Gotta say as well, I think Shotzzy found some ridiculous kills to help break some of it, but LA Thieves, the slow push into 10, it may have cost them in the end. They didn't get the rotation either. Big kills all around, but it does mean they move forward 4-0 so far. The Thieves finding their first loss this season as well. It has been a battle of the Titans, and it certainly was entertaining. Let's throw it over to the desk to break this one down.
Great work, gentlemen, and congratulations, OpTic Texas. I don't think you needed another 10 grand, but you got it in your bank account. Epic performance as well into hard points, because coming in, we highlighted it. These were 2 of our best hard point teams.
Yeah.
Today, OpTic proved they may be the best in the game right now in this mode. 5-0 as LA Thieves, now 5-2.
I think the most impressive map and mode for me in this series had to be that search and destroy. You know, OpTic, we knew they were a strong hardpoint team ever since Major 3, and now as we head to that map number 2, I mean, I expected them to have the edge in search and destroy. I didn't expect them to have a 6-1 dominant win with Huke going 10-1 win over the LA Thieves. So OpTic Texas, I said if they cleaned up that search and destroy, they could be the favorite going into Major number 4, and it looks like that's what they did.
Nameless in this game for Mercado could be blowout or it could be super tight. This one was all knotted up at 124 going into P7.
Yeah.
Then it felt like a slugfest in the second half.
Yeah, it was crazy. We saw some huge plays in the side of OpTic Texas, and I want to shout out Huke. I mean, his rotation, you know, P7, he goes over towards Barber, secures the spawn for Green, and then they're just thinking ahead, right? We saw how Thieves had that setup, soaking the time on P1. Dashy finds the first kill. They just stay cool, calm, and collected. Great plays from OpTic throughout that second rotation, man, and what seemed like Thieves had a good opportunity.
Taking a look at our numbers, Huke dropping a 1.19 in that series, and as you mentioned, making some of the critical plays to spawn his team in that final hard point. Shotzzy continues to impress when it comes to total kills. On the other side, what do you see from LA Thieves, Ali? What do you like, or what do they need to improve?
Unfortunately, as you can see on your screen, we didn't get the Envoy we're probably hoping to get that we had seen in the previous 3 series from the LA Thieves, but again, you know, sometimes series like that just happen.
There you go, 3-1. LA Thieves are going to get handed their first loss. They're still 3-1 so far in our Major IV qualifiers, so you can't be too mad at that. We have to, of course, highlight, though, our scuff play of the game. It's Huke doing Huke things. Walk me through the Nuke's moves.
I mean, it was just a fortress, right? Like, you could just take this entire highlight of map number 2 and just stay on his POV the entire time. Again, he finishes this map 10-1.
Yeah, I think he has 4 bomb plants as well, too. Like, they were getting the bomb down at will, trading out. The scuff play of the game has to be this clutch, though. Like, he finds one, hits him with the snake, and I mean, this wall is literally paper, so he's just shimmying around. It's just so annoying to deal with, looking at that stage and seeing Huke's head. There's nothing you can do.
Huke getting it done. OpTic winning the search and destroy, going on to win our series 3-1, as he will lock up our scuff play of the game. Looking back, we had a jam-packed day.
We did.
3 matches, 2 bounties, and some big winners. Who is the biggest winner on the weekend, though, Ann, looking back?
I mean, it has to be OpTic, right? Going undefeated throughout this, bringing down a top contender in the LA Thieves. If you're OpTic, you're feeling like you're in position, you're the favorite to win this tournament. But also, I think another winner on the weekend was Vegas bouncing back and getting that win. I mean, you lose to London, for God's sake, right? You're in position to where, like, now we might not be in the winners bracket. We might not even make it to champs now. Well, they get their win back in the redemption. Now they're in a spot to make it to winners.
Right now, we are joined by the man you are praising in the green room. Ghosty is back on the mic. And dude, I love your comms. I love your story as a player. You are quickly becoming a fan favorite in the league. What's it been like in the last 3 weeks, though? Because it feels like this team is really starting to find their groove.
We've just been putting in a lot of work and practice, making sure that we review everything we need to in VOD, and we've just been going at it 100% every day and putting in the work, and I'm glad that we were able to show that work today in the series.
Definitely, I think one of your biggest wins so far during the split is going to be the win over LA Thieves. I do want to ask about that Expo, though. It finally got into a series with you guys. It's our first look on with you guys. Do you play Expo and Scrims and just thought, all right, it's looking good, let's try it out? Or is LA Thieves just, have something against you when it comes to that game number 3?
They definitely played it a lot better than us. The first offense, there was definitely a little bit of light, but other than that, they just simply outplayed us on it. But in scrims, it's been going pretty well, and we knew that LA Thieves would likely also want to test Expo against a good team, just because we're both 2-0 in the split, or they're 3-0 or something like that. So, I mean, I was happy with how it went, and now we have some good VOD to review.
Ghosty, so, beforehand when you were on this squad, you were new and it was just a lot to take in. Now you've had some time to sort of feel comfortable with the squad. How's it been being that in-game leader with these guys after now having, 3-4 weeks to get comfortable?
I like it. I actually really enjoy this role. Like I've said before, this wasn't my natural role, so to speak, or what I played in Challengers, but I think I can do it very well. I enjoy it, and I love the way that my teammates can play off me, so I'm really having a blast.
Ghosty, if I want to learn to calm like you, do you stream? Where can I watch more of your content?
No, twitch.tv/OdanGhosty. I stream like 6 days a week, 5 days a week. I'm on my grind, so just like it.
I'm subbing tonight, brother. Congrats on the win. Thanks for the entertainment.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. That is Dan Ghosty doing Ghosty things. Some excellent calls as OpTic gets the win in their matchup tonight. A 3-0 score will put them in our #1 seed. Let's go back, though, and talk about some of the teams on the other side of the leaderboard. We started with LAG going up against Vegas, and this was one that Vegas needed to get a win if they wanted to climb and catch up to the Røkkr. Today, they do just that.
They needed a win yesterday versus London, and then they really needed a win against the LAG camp, and they were able to pull it out. It did go to a Game 5, though, so we went all the way to the distance, but it was the search and destroys that Vegas Legion are once again just showing some serious prowess and dominance in.
On the other side for LAG, I think our city's had a much better day, but Nameless, are we worried about this squad?
Yes, you're worried about LAG. I mean, this team has struggled. They're extremely inconsistent. They're not getting wins regardless, but even in their showings in these series, they're inconsistent. Arcides is having a crazy series one day, and he's dropping 3 kills the other day. So pandemonium in the LAG camp for sure.
That was our first match of the day, leading up to our second battle featuring Toronto going up against Florida Mutineers. And while this was a 3-0, there were some tight moments, some tight games. It was just a whole lot of clutch coming out of Ultra. Hixie had his time in the sun, so did Scrapz as always.
Yeah, a big clutch out of them, especially in that map #3 Expo, where it did go to round #5, and Toronto were on the offensive side of things. They almost didn't pull it out, but it was a clutch too in the end from Scrappy. But again, this is a series that we expected to be a little bit more of a quicker, more dominant one. We're talking about our Major 3 winners going up against Florida Mutineers, one of our teams at the bottom of the barrel. So more of an expected match on the day.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, it was dominant, right? Like, they dominated the first 2 maps, 250 to 100, then 6-2. Just Expo, I mean, you get into the mix for the first time. We see teams are learning it today. And I really have been enjoying Expo. It's a lot better than Fortress. We're seeing a lot of opportunities on offense. We'll see where it develops.
Yeah, shout out to my man Fellow. Fun to watch his AR on that map. Taking a look at our standings right now after 2 weeks of qualifier action. Mutineers 0-4, Guerrillas 0-3. Everyone else still in the running for a top 8 spot. OpTic currently in the #1 seed after taking down Thieves tonight. How many teams is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams at 2-1. You have a few teams now sitting at 1-1 or 1-2. Nameless, how crazy is next week going to be?
I mean, it's going to be lit. We might have like a 5-way tie for 8th. We'll see who makes it into winners.
Allie, anything you learned this week that you're going to take home to your ranked games tonight?
I did not learn anything. I'm sorry.
All right, well, I'm going to watch some VODs, and I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to share it with you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in. A fantastic evening, and of course, remember, we'll be back live in action Friday, 2:45 p.m. Eastern with Headquarters, the final week before the Columbus Major. See you then.
Closer than it appears, trying to take it to another tier. Prime time, yeah, my moment is here, yeah. I ride the nation for my title, do what I must for survival. By any means, yeah, I know, I can't stop, I won't fold. Might bend the rules just to break the mold. Hella high water, calm and compose. Life will get messy, but I reach the goal. Climb the totem pole, beat the protocol. Yes, I had it in me after all, after penny falls and a lot of false things. aggressive. Turning burdens to blessings. Turning burdens to blessings. I'm in it for the long run. I'm a problem to my problems. Fighting through the tears. Fighting in my fears. See my past in the mirror. Closer than it appears. Trying to take it to another tier. Prime time, yeah, my moment is here. Yeah, in the spotlight and it feels right. Never been scared to take it to new heights. I always dare to dream and dare to see the chance to be a better me and everything.